When the president signed health care reform, many small businesses were concerned that they couldn't afford it. And now that the president has won re-election and it appears the health care law will stand, that painful reality is starting to set in. Joining us right now is the owner of 3 Papa John's locations down in the Houston area, Judy Nichols, who's been dropping by before. Good morning to you, Judy.
Good morning, Steve.
Okay, Judy, with Obamacare going forward, the way the law reads is if you've got 50 or more employees, you've got to spend $2,000 per employee to provide health care. How many employees do you have on your payroll, and now what are you going to have to do?
Well, currently we have 51 full-time equivalents, and the base this year is 2013. So we have to manage down our staffing by 4 part-time or 2 full-time people over the 2013 year from the beginning to the end, or we qualify as big business and that minimum $40,000 tax and $2,000 per head.
Yeah.
We can't afford that. It's just pizza.
It is just pizza, but it's also business. And, you know, it can be a very lucrative business, and I understand, and you've been on the program before talking about how you had recently purchased a plot of land to put another Papa John's on it. And where do those plans stand right now?
They're terminated. We had put it on hold hoping that the government might revisit this issue so that we could grow and add 75 jobs, but they're not going to revisit it, and we just can't afford the tax that growth would come. We're too small for that, but we'd be called big business.
Yeah. We had a fellow on last week, Zane Tankel, and he told us, he has a bunch of Applebee's here in the New York City area. He said essentially that he's not going to be able to build more locations and because he can't hire any more people because Obamacare would just cost him too much money because then they'd have to either raise prices or downsize. Is that kind of the same situation you're in?
Well, yeah, the price of pizza has been $10 for a very, very long time. And we've had 3 or 4 minimum wage increases. This is basically a minimum wage increase. Commodities are up, diesel fuel's up, and it touches everything we do. My profit margins over the last 20 years have shrunk from 10 to 2%. And you just want to pay the bills every month right now. To heck with making money.
Yeah, no kidding. And the thing about
just no money there for.
The thing about being in business, Judy, is the idea is you want to get bigger and have more locations. But now under this Obamacare thing, with the cutoff at 50, you can only go so far before you hit the ceiling.
Indeed, and speaking of ceilings, you know, I wanted to go into business for myself so I wouldn't have ceilings put on me. In corporate America, I could only get promoted so far. And now I cannot grow. My daughter's 18 this year. She's left the house. I don't have to be a full-time mom anymore. I wanted to be a full-time career woman again. And I was so ready for growth. We were going to add 100 jobs this year with the new pizza restaurants and even some grocery stores. And there's just no money for it. I cannot pay my staff and pay all these taxes. There's only so much blood you can get out of a turnip.
Yeah, there you go. And pizza's just $10, like you said. All right, Judy Nichols.
Well, yeah, I don't understand why these folks want to keep boycotting companies that say, you know, this has an impact on the bottom line. If you're going to boycott every restaurant company that says the healthcare law has an impact on the bottom line, be prepared to cook at home a lot because it's affecting every restaurant.
It certainly
every
is.
restaurant that you eat at is impacted negatively by this law.
Well, you're in the trenches.
Young kids don't want to spend money on health care. Yeah, young kids want to spend money on a new car and they want to spend money on a new home or tuition. They don't want to spend money on health care. They don't need to. They're healthy.
I know exactly what you mean. All right, Judy Nichols joining us today from Houston. Ma'am, thank you very much for sharing your story.